it about, you, what made you want to do that now and bring
Well,
the program?
and I talked before because it's who you work for is really important. It's just your leader having the vision, and I talked before about supporting women and supporting women's athletics. It's just a fact. If you look across the country, if you look at all the recent hires, they've all hired mid-major, underqualified people because they don't really care. Damon Evans cares, wants to win in everything, and I saw that vision, or else I wouldn't have came here. And then with the president's backing and their vision, and Jay Hartzell coming, like this new era of SMU athletics was very important. I wanted to be a part of that. I think that this is a gold mine. I think it's a sleeping giant. There's every resource here to be successful. I mean, a great city, great academics, like resources. Like, what else do you need? And you don't have that a lot of places. That's why this is going to be very special. And you saw it down the road. I mean, I'm not going to say the school's name, but very successful, fast because of all those things. So when you have all that, it's easy to recruit. Like, I have a recruit here that I can't say her name, but she's from Dallas, from a school 10 minutes away. And that school's a powerhouse for athletics. So when you have that base in your geographical footprint, you can be really successful. So I'm excited. I didn't have this. I've never had this. Sorry.
I apologize. But when you think about the ACC, there was a lot of success for SMU in the ACC.
Yeah.
In a lot of sports this year, obviously not in women's basketball. You've been, I mean, the Pac-12 at the end of what we knew it as was the toughest
was
women's
hard.
basketball league in the nation at that point. So what does it take to go through that gauntlet night in and night out?
So the Big 12, like Pac-12 was elite. I thought that was an amazing conference. Not just because I played in the Pac-10, but I thought it was great cities, great education. That being dismantled, I think, hurt a lot nationally. And then we went over to Big 12. Big 12 was a great conference, but it was very like really girthy post players. Different. When I look at the ACC is it's a guards league. It's faster, not as much size inside. So I think a really fun league that fits our style. I think we could be successful. A lot of 4 out, a lot of 5 out. So I'm excited for it. I think that there's more parity. I think in the ACC, I think Duke is now really good. Notre Dame. But I think that there isn't like 4 elite, and then like the SEC is really top heavy, and I think it's hard to climb there. I think we have potential to get good fast, and because of the portal. I think years ago, it would take years to get like from 10th to 9th. I think now with the portal, you get some good kids, you can be good really fast. And we saw that recently nationally. With teams even in the Elite Eight, it was 9 transfers and they win. So us signing 9 players, we're going to get 3 or 4 more. And I'm trying to get some Dallas kids that can come back. So there's some kids that went to LSU and SEC, trying to get them to come back home. That's why I said about getting the kids on the rebound is really big. So I think we can get good fast. I'm not saying will we win a national championship tomorrow, no. But we are going to be competitive and we can win. So I think with the team we put together now, I think we'll be pretty good.
What have you learned about the transfer portal as it's evolved, and how has your approach changed to it?
It's changed because I think it's really hard to keep kids. I think the thought of keeping a kid 4 years is really hard. I think that doesn't happen a lot. It was always hard for me before because we do a lot of development. So we would develop these players, and then they would get better, and they would go, leave. And I think now, with the resources, you can keep your good players, and then winning helps a lot of that, and I build something special. But I think the portal also can fill gaps really fast. So let's say you're getting killed on the boards, you don't have a post player. You can go buy a post player in the portal and get better and fill that deficit. Before, it took years of development, so I think it took a lot more time to be good. So we can be good fast here, but just getting the right pieces and getting someone to share that vision of wanting to go and do something special. Because a lot of kids, they only want to play in winning programs, but with the portal, you say, well, we can win. Look at the teammates that are next to you. So you get someone to take a chance, believe that, and I think it can be really special. So we're working really hard to get at top 5. And now we're going against the top teams in the country. We're not going against teams that would be bottom half of the ACC. We're going against national powerhouses right now.
Can you tell us, I
Yeah.
apologize,
Okay.
kind of like my question out there, I mean, you want to have a great team,
Yeah.
1 through 12, but to compete for national
win, yeah.
championships, you got to have one of those top 5, top 10,
Yeah, you need-
top 20 players.
Yeah.
So what does it take to get those? What have you found out about that?
It takes resources because the bottom line is everything's transactional. So if you don't have the resources, you're not getting the player. That's just a fact. It's not an excuse, but great players, it's hard to turn down the type of money that's out there right now. So you have to have a vision. You have to be able to show that you can help someone become a pro. Like if they're a fifth year and they're good and the money's pretty similar, what's the separator? So then the separator is your resume. As a coach, have you been there, done that? Like we played for a national championship and I've played pro, so that helps. And then do we have the skills that you have to show the player to help them get to where they want to be? So if they're there 1 year, 6 months, and then they go pro, so can you develop them and get them better those 6 months to do that? So all those things, and then are you connected to help them for the next step? Like we're connected in Europe. My husband was a coach for 10 years. I'm connected to every WNBA team. So I think those things are good selling points. And then the last thing is, in your last year, you want to be prepared for life. So they want to get their degree, their master's degree in a year, and here you can connect them to companies. And you have donors and stuff that can help that. So all of those things, I think, can lead to a great formula. So I think we have everything here to be successful.
Damon touted the fan interest that you guys were able to generate at your last school. Outside of just winning, what do you think kind of goes into that, and especially for a school like SMU?
So that's a good question. So the first thing, we weren't winning when we started that. So I remember even when I played there, it was different because there wasn't all social media and stuff. We didn't have a lot of fans. But when I first got there, it was like 300 season ticket holders. I remember we got a little better. We weren't good, but the fans started to connect with us, get to know us. We were doing tons of community stuff. I said in the beginning, my goal was, okay, when we go somewhere, we're not going to, right now, do you want everybody to come to the games? No, because we weren't good. But I said we're going to win the community and as we grow and get better and recruit. But it was hard to recruit because our program was down. So went out, created relationships, did tons of stuff, served the community. People started to like our team, buy into the players, and then they started to come, and then the winning came. So I remember in 2019, we were on a run to go to the WNAT, and we sold out. We sold out 14-7 in the arena, and then our goal was to go to 1,000 season tickets. So then we had 1,000. That was a big deal. And now, now today they were at 8,000. And that was in over $1 million in revenue. So you can fill that gap. It takes the players buying into the community, going out there and serving the community, which they love doing anyways, and then creating relationships where you have support. And every year you can break your season ticket record, even if you're down a little bit, because people buy in and love the program, and they feel ownership in the program. So.
The biggest, loudest kids' day I've ever been to was in Tucson.
Oh, really? Good.
Yeah.
See, that was a good thing.
Yeah, was that a big thing as well, getting out there among the schools? And
Yeah, we
things like
didn't.
that?
I remember the last 9 years. We've only probably had 3 school days. A couple was because of the COVID situation. Sometimes it was hard logistically, but it helps. It helps your attendance. So we haven't had those in a couple of years. So we would, kids' days are really tough because it was so loud. But we were able to draw without that. And even when. Even being down a little bit and not playing like the Stanfords. If you're going to have Stanfords, you draw. But even playing like, we would have like 7,000 fans for a like preseason game. So that's what I'm talking about, the community, the buy-in, and the relationships. And people will come. You just have to connect. It's important. And you have to go out and do it. I don't think it's that hard.
For a lot of coaches, I imagine coaching at your alma mater is probably a dream.
It was.
Was that a bit of a hard decision to make?
It was, but I think there comes a time when it's time, and I didn't feel like I could win at the level I wanted to there. Not good or bad or indifferent, it's just what it was, and it was very hard. So when I looked at this, I wasn't out looking for anything, but when this was an opportunity, I said, wow, like this has everything. It has a recruiting base like within driving distance. It's a great city, it's easy to get to. I can go to Europe easy because we like to recruit in Europe too. It had everything. It's an amazing city. It's a great degree. It's more intimate. So I thought, like, how could I say no? And then on top of that, the leadership. It's important. Who you work for every day is one of the most important things. And how will they pour into your program? And what's their vision? Do they care? Look nationally, a lot of ADs don't care. That's just a fact. You see with the hiring. So do they care? Do they have a vision for women's basketball? Are they going to support you with resources? It doesn't mean it has to be the most. Everybody's going to have more. Like someone always has more. It doesn't matter. But do you have enough to be competitive? And we have everything here. And then when I saw Damon get here, it's a no-brainer because he supports women, he supports women's athletics, and he supports women's basketball. And I've watched him do that at Maryland. So for me, it was just a no-brainer.
Do you have a philosophy with how you schedule, or does it depend on what kind of team you think you have, or how far along you are in the process as well?
Both. I've always learned that like if there's 13 non-conference games, you want to win 11. You want to have a couple of competitive games, especially if you're in a really tough conference. My philosophy in the Pac-12 was it was a gauntlet conference. It was by far the number one. You couldn't go schedule 7 top teams. You would get beat down. So you would try to have competitive teams, but you want to win 11 games because it was going to be hard to be 500 even in the Pac-12. Now, I think with the ACC, you want a competitive a non-conference that can prepare your team, but you don't want like 7 top 20. You don't want to do that because the league's competitive. You have the NC State Dukes, Notre Dame's, a really tough conference. So you want to win 11 non-conference games because you want to that helps you get to those 20 wins because it's so hard to win, 10 conference games or 9 conference games.